through storms, unshaken, unbowed, through trials and verdicts, still standing proud, a titan in the tempest, against the raging crowd. He's got a vision for the future, gonna shout it aloud. Changing the wind, it's coming fast, a new foundation built to last. Cryptocurrency's the key, make the big switch, power to the people, time to teach the rich. Legal battles can't hold him, he's moving on, with plans so bold, from dusk till dawn. He's rewriting the rules, a new dawn's day, from the hands of the few to the people's way.
Welcome, everyone, to the Crazy Kryptonaut channel. I am Zester, and thank you guys so much for joining me this evening, afternoon, morning. I suppose it all depends on where you're located at the moment. But regardless, thank you so much for being here. And I know that we probably have a lot to cover. There's always lots of questions when crypto markets are booming like this, especially when XRP is booming like this. And so do not worry. I'm going to go through and do some hellos, answer some questions along the way, and then we're going to jump in to answering all the questions that everyone has out there in the community, and also going through some of the news and insight over what's going on in the crypto market, well, today and in the near future. And so welcome, everyone. Thank you, guys. What's up, Mile High Trish? Happy Monday to you as well. Gary7 came in at number 2 on the like button today. Appreciate it, Gary. And I did. I had a great Thanksgiving, man. I hope you did as well. It was definitely exhausting with the travel, but more than worth it. Oh, what's up, Kukla? Thank you so much for being here and for everything that you do. Hope you had that amazing Thanksgiving also. All right, though. I know the questions started pretty quick here, so what's up, Captain Spiffy, coming in at number 8 on the like button. That is much appreciated. And welcome there, Ray. Oh, and Bear, thank you so much for joining. All right. I know that we had one pretty quickly, and they're coming from Ray Paley asking, at Crazy Kryptonaut, is there a tax consequence to moving XRP from Uphold to Ledger? There is not. And so I will go ahead and give my little disclaimer before I jump in any further. Please keep in mind that anything and everything covered on the Crazy Kryptonaut channel, whether it's by me or by any guests or anyone, is not intended to be professional, financial, or legal advice. Please consult with a financial professional before making any major decisions. Got to make certain I cover that one before we start talking about this. In this case, ensure that you talk to a tax professional before doing anything, but I can, from personal experience, just pass along what has occurred to me. And in my case, I know from my situation that transferring crypto is not a taxable event. As a matter of fact, Ray, when you transfer your crypto, you actually have a tax write-off that is about to occur. And that is because you're going to have to pay gas fees in order to send your crypto. And so any amount of crypto that is lost during that transfer, any amount that you have to spend, keep in mind that that's actually a tax write-off. That's a cost of doing business, essentially. Same idea that fees or fines from having invested into any traditional financial vehicle, that those would be tax write-offs. And so you have nothing to worry about there, Ray. That transfer from Upload to Ledger, assuming you do not swap the crypto, is an untaxable event. At least not a taxable event in a negative way. Maybe you could view it as a beneficial taxable event because you could write off those expenses that come from the gas fees. All right, though, back to the hellos and looking for more questions. I know that we're going to be going crazy on them today with everything going on in the crypto world. It is, well, I understand entirely. Captain Spiffy asks, what crypto coin sites have education that then gives free money to completed educational subjects? Well, actually, there is one. And so I know that folks are probably tired of hearing about Coinbase, but I do highly suggest it in order to keep people safe. I'm not a fan of everything, but it keeps people safe. And so Coinbase actually has that, Captain Spiffy. And so if you have a Coinbase account and you come over and you check out what your Coinbase account is up to, things of that nature, and you come down here to learning rewards, you will have the option to actually go through and learn about different cryptocurrencies, and you'll get free crypto for doing it. And so I did the first couple of lessons for Algo. I ended up earning $10, and it might have taken me 30 seconds to get through the lessons. Now, of course, that will differ between folks, but I imagine even if you really, really, really want to learn every part of it, it might take you 10 minutes to earn those 10 free dollars. Not a bad return for your time. And so, yes, you absolutely can with Coinbase. You could even earn more by downloading their wallet and doing more things along in terms of the process. Same thing with Core Element down here. I've already earned $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, and I could keep earning if I kept going along with their little different quests. That is a very, very easy way to get some free crypto, Captain Spiffy. It's not like it's gonna be a retirement fund or anything like that. But what it really helps out with is getting some of that initial crypto capital in order to start learning about how crypto works. You know, you get $10 here, another $10 there. You got 20 bucks of Bitcoin or something of that nature at that point. You can then go off and you can practice. You can transfer. You can learn how things work without having to use your own money to do it. Great way of being able to test things out and get a few extra free dollars. Who's ever going to complain about an extra 30 bucks? All right. Let's continue. What's up, Linda Hearn? Welcome, welcome. Oh, yeah, everybody happy with their cryptos at the moment. At the moment is what I meant there, Gary7. And so I have to imagine folks are particularly happy with their cryptos at this point. Gary, did Tino and Tina get any leftover turkey? They got a few bites, and that was it. I'm trying to keep them, and more specifically, I'm trying to train Tina. Tino is very good. Tino understands. Tina is still at the point where if you leave your food alone for too long, you might not have any food when you come back. Tino is not that way. And so I wanted to be able to give him even more. I had to be very sparing with the turkey presents for the kitties on account of Tina. Tina has got it. Tina does not. And so I don't want to reinforce the idea that she gets to take food off of people's plates, because otherwise I don't know if I would eat. She's pretty forceful when she wants something. But yes, they did get some, Gary. Crazy Chester, XRP to the moon. Absolutely, Crazy Chester. When we come over and look right now, we'll hit a refresh. XRP is currently sitting at $2.70 a pop. I've got to imagine many folks out there are extremely happy. I know I am with my XRP bags. My XRP wallets are looking particularly healthy at the moment. And we're going to go through a few articles in a bit that I have prepared, kind of talking about whether we think XRP is going to continue to rise or whether we think we're kind of starting to hit a little bit of some rocky roads. We're going to talk about that in just a bit. ADHD. Let's say you moved 10 XRP and bought 100 XLM. Now, I think what you're asking, ADHD, is in reference to the tax question. Now, say you were to transfer 10 XRP and you were to swap that for 100 XLM or whatever the math works out to. I think you're very, very close, though, right now on that math, because it is. It's about 1 XRP is about 5 to 10 XLM, depending upon what our current exchange rates are looking at. I think somewhere around 5 at the moment, because XLM is somewhere over 50 cents. And so say you were to transfer 10 XRP and get 50 XLM. Now that currently is viewed as a taxable event, ADHD. That is, but it's also very much a gray area in the tax law, because ultimately it depends on whether you're paying your capital gains tax immediately or you're paying your capital gains tax cumulatively at the end of the year. Some people choose to pay their taxes up front. Some people choose to pay their taxes at the end of the year. Ultimately, if you were to, say, transfer 10 XRP to XLM, and then you were to say with the rest of your trading accounts, you were to have losses or anything of that nature, well, then talk to your accountant. You're probably going to not have the tax bill you were expecting, but it is still viewed as a taxable event. Hopefully that is going to change with the Trump presidency. But at this point in time, if you are to transfer between one crypto and swap to another crypto, that technically is a taxable event. It's still very much a gray area, though, ADHD. I would highly recommend to folks, when it comes to their crypto taxes and when you're talking to your accountant, number one, make certain that your accountant is aware of crypto and is crypto friendly. If your accountant is not crypto friendly, stop using them. Your accountant is not a good accountant and they don't know what they're doing. And so if they're not crypto knowledgeable, if they're not educated on the subject, don't use them. Find a new accountant. I don't care how long you've had that accountant. It doesn't matter. You need a new one. If you have a substantial amount of your money in crypto, or you have seen tens of thousands of dollars come in over the past couple of weeks, compliments of your investments, go to an accountant that actually knows what they're doing. Do not go to your guy who has been doing the same thing for the past 80 years and expect him to be knowledgeable about how this should be written down on your tax returns. Don't expect it, but also keep in mind, things are changing rapidly, and they're going to change far quicker once Trump is in office, assuming we see the crypto regulation come through in the way that he has discussed. And so I would be very hesitant when it comes down to it right now. Keep in mind that there are a lot of legal avenues to go through. Ultimately, no one is really certain how it works yet. I know that doesn't seem like the way the most prosperous country on the planet should operate, where we have an entire nearly $4 trillion industry that the United States government has yet to figure out how to regulate. That shouldn't be the way the world works, but it is the way the world works. And so we have to operate under the way things are currently. And right now, there really is a very legal gray area between me swapping between XRP and XLM, whether that's a taxable event or not. It's a very, very gray area. Ultimately, the way that I have viewed it and continue to view it is that if I transfer between XRP and XLM, I do not view that as a taxable event. That doesn't make any sense to be a taxable event. Now, if I were to transfer from XRP to the US dollar, say I bought XRP at 40 cents, and then I sold at $2.70, and I transferred my XRP to the US dollar, Now I could see a taxable event occurring. That makes sense. But ultimately, transfers from one crypto to another crypto do not make sense to be a taxable event. And so it is a very gray area. Please do not 100% count on my experiences on that one, because keep in mind, based off of your jurisdiction and your tax liabilities, it could be an entirely different question. Crappy man. Crappie. Sorry there, Crappy. I know there's many different ways to say that fish's name. But Crappy Man says, Zester, this is my first live show. I've always had to watch recorded shows. Can you please comment on the Edge wallet? Is it safe? Can I move to Ledger, etc.? Man, when it comes to a lot of the other hardware wallets, there's really nothing to worry about. You can absolutely move to your Ledger wallet, which I would recommend, because that's the wallet that I have always trusted my money with. And so ultimately, if Ledger ends up going down, don't worry, we're going down together. That's where all of my crypto is held. And so you should have no issue there being able to transfer over to a Ledger hardware wallet in any form or fashion. And remember, those transfers are not a taxable event. If I send XRP to another one of my wallets, the only thing that occurred is whatever the gas fees are a tax write-off. Neil Brooks says, howdy, Zester, from 40-degree and windy Graham, North Carolina, waiting on $3 XRP. Well, Neil, I'm sorry to hear about the weather, but I am also looking forward to $3 XRP. It seems as if there is not anything that's going to hold us back. Matter of fact, we've gained 2 cents. Actually, we're at $2.72 per XRP just since I started talking a few minutes ago. And so things are looking very positive on that one. Elvis Parisi says, Zester, what wallet should I get for XRP? And so, Elvis, first thing to keep in mind is how much XRP. And second thing then is I would highly recommend a Ledger hardware wallet. Ledger hardware wallet is capable of storing both your XRP and all of your other ones, whether it's XLM, XTC, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Chainlink, doesn't matter. Ledger hardware wallets are capable of storing them all. And so I would highly recommend, it's in the description. You'll see my link tree in the description of the videos. You can click on there, you'll get some free Bitcoin, and you'll save some money from using the link. And I would highly recommend that option. It has not done me wrong. Yeah, musical lady. Happy Monday, everyone. Don't we all absolutely love the bull run of XRP? Yes, we do, musical lady. It is always fun to check the wallets each morning and throughout the day. They do not disappoint. All right. ADHD, let's say earlier. Oh, now we're getting an interesting one to throw out here. So ADHD, let's say earlier in 2024, you moved 10 XRP to 100 XLM. Then later in 2024, you moved the 100 XLM to 10 XRP. I'm using this example for easy math. Would the net result be $0 according to the IRS? No. ADHD, the net result from the IRS perspective would be the buy and sell price. And so, what did I purchase that initial 10 XRP for? Say I spent $3. And when I transferred that $3 of initially purchased XRP to $100 of XLM, let's say the XRP was worth $10 then. So I had $7 of profit. I would owe taxes on the $7 of profit. Now, when I then transferred the 100 XLM to 100 XRP, did I continue to make a profit or not? They are basing everything off of the US dollar value. Did you make money? At the point of sale and the point of purchase, And they are not taking into account all the nuances that occur throughout the cryptocurrency markets. They operate from the same idea as capital gains tax would on stock. If you were to have purchased a stock and then you were to have sold it for whatever the profit may be, and then you were to then trade more stocks and you were to lose money, ultimately at the end of the year, what you owe is what you made. You owe a tax percentage based off of your net profit. Did you profit off of these trades, ADHD? In which case, expect to be taxed based off of the profit. But also keep in mind, as I said earlier, that it is still very much a gray area. That's just the best and safest way to go forward at this point in time. I tend to prefer to operate under the assumption of the most conservative mindset. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. And so I always operate with that understanding. I plan for the worst when it comes to the taxes, but I hope for the best. And so in that way, keep in mind that your profits are ultimately going to fall under the category of a capital gains tax. If you made money, it's capital gains. Campfires and sunsets. Hey, Zach, should we be looking to purchase the RLUSD as it comes live or just stick with the XRP? Campfires and sunsets, that's a great question. For those that are not aware, RLUSD is going to be the Ripple Labs stablecoin on the XRP ledger. And so keep in mind, campfires and sunset, that RLUSD is designed to be worth $1. Always $1. And so what you should view RLUSD as is a way of holding value on the blockchain without risking those dollars. And so when I purchase XRP, the price of XRP may go up or it may go down. I want it to go up, but that may not be what occurs. RLUSD as a stable coin is designed to mimic the US dollar. It's just going to follow the US dollar. It's backed by United States treasuries, gold, and other collateral. In that way, it's a great way of being able to keep your money very liquid, ready to be invested, but without taking market risks. I'm no longer risking that the price of Bitcoin, say, plummets tomorrow night. You know, maybe right now we're looking at $2.72. Well, actually, $2.73 XRP. So if, say, I were to transfer my XRP to RLUSD, and then the price of XRP plummets, well, I would have secured my gains. It's a tool. It's not an investment. You do not invest in RLUSD. You utilize the tool that it provides you in order to assist with your other investments. I think that might be the best way to kind of look at it, campfires. It's a tool, a very, very important and useful tool. Hey, Mimi says, hi, Zester. I finally caught you. What is up, Mimi? Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Love Trumpy. Like the name. Neil Brooks, by sell from ledger, is it a taxable, traceable event? Now, Neil, this is a caveat that has to be explored when it comes to cryptocurrency. Ultimately, remember that the blockchain ledger is transparent, but it's also discrete. And so, Neil, if there was any way to tie you back to that ledger wallet, then expect the IRS to send you a letter. Ultimately, for the past 8 years, the IRS has not been capable of tracking these things. They don't have the technological know-how, and they've never called and attempted to hire me in order to help them with that, which I wouldn't, even if they did. But I would say, Neil, that's where I talk about that gray area. And that's what I mean about that gray area. Ultimately, when it comes to your cryptocurrency holdings, if you wish to pay taxes, it is only because you plan on using the money. Ultimately, if you have cryptocurrency holdings and you would like to keep that money in cryptocurrency, I don't think, and I have never heard of anyone ever being informed about whether they're doing things properly or not. Where they're going to get you, Neil, is when you send that money to your bank account. That's where they're going to get you. And that's where they're going to ask where the money came from. How did you invest it? What's your profit? Did you pay your taxes? That's where that conversation is going to begin, Neil. It's going to begin when you transfer that money to your bank account. When you keep all of your money in crypto, ultimately, even the IRS looks at the situation and goes, we're not interested in trying to figure this out, because they really can't prove anything. They can prove that you have the money, but they can't really prove how much you spent. They can't really figure it out that well yet. They should be able to, but seemingly they can't. And so, Neil, I would not in any way want to suggest to you to do something that is in any form of a legal gray area. But ultimately, I can tell you from my personal experience that I only get the letter when the money comes to a bank account. I have never gotten a letter of any kind, and I don't know anyone that has been in crypto for a long time that has gotten a letter asking them about their crypto trading patterns. It has all been about the money coming in to their Wells Fargo account or their Bank of America account. So please stay safe out there, everyone, in regards to that one. And lean towards the side of caution is what I would recommend. What's up, David? David says, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Zester. Here's your apple. Thank you so much, David, for the apple. And what's up, proud Arab American? Glad to see you over here. And yes, Coinbase does pay you to learn. It does. Cassandra, why is the price of crypto on Ledger Alive not exactly the same as CoinSpot when doing a refresh? And so Cassandra, that's a good question. And actually, I can kind of show you right here. And so we're going to use CoinGecko as an example. But what we're going to go do is we're actually going to look at the different markets. And so right now, according to CoinGecko, Bitcoin is trading for $95,532 on Binance in the USDT pairing. It's trading at $95,441.69 for the FDUSD trading pair on Binance. It's trading for $451 on the USDT pair on Pionex. All of the different exchanges are active markets. And so all of these are actually averages of the various markets where Bitcoin is being sold. This price you're seeing is an average. And that means you're going to see different prices based off of where they're getting their information from. If they're getting their information from, say, CoinMarketCap instead of CoinGecko, or they're getting their information from Binance instead of Pionex, or they're getting their information from Coinbase instead of PancakeSwap, then all those numbers are going to be different. And so, Cassandra, keep in mind that there really isn't much of a difference, but there is a slight difference depending on which exchange you are looking at. Cindy, can you show the Ethereum logo? I bet I can. All right. So Ethereum is, well, that is the Ethereum logo. Now, keep in mind, though, Cindy, that when you're looking for a logo or something like that, these are images that can be copied and pasted and altered and played with. And so keep in mind that you may see an Ethereum logo somewhere else or something that looks very similar, but it's that rhombus diamond shaped logo. We could even go and probably find a larger photo of one as well. And so that would be your Ethereum logo, would be your little rhombus type diamond. That's Ethereum. All right, continuing forward. All right. D, your thoughts on Tangum cards? Tangum cards would be new for me, D, and so please do. I have my email actually down in the description, and so please do send along some information on that one. I'd be happy to do some. I'd be happy to do some research and learn a bit. Hey, Captain Spiffy. Months ago, using your tutoring, I invested $100 I didn't have, and now it's above $400. So, Captain Spiffy, I'm very, very, very glad to hear that. I'm gonna put you on as one of my, one of my reviews for having learned the crazy kryptonite. But no, Captain, I'm very, very glad to hear that. Ultimately, crypto is extremely safe if you just stick to the safe areas. It's one of those things where it's the same idea as say you're on the beach. If you go out into the areas where they say there's a rip current, don't be surprised if a rip current occurs. When it comes down to it, crypto is just something where everyone has to just be aware of how it works, and then the danger, the everything really starts to melt away. And so I'm extremely happy to hear that, Captain Spiffy. I hope you're planning on doing something fun with your gains. I hope so. All right. Bear says, remember back to second or third class, I said XRP would pay well. Don't have, but listen to Dave Lyon talk about XRP and XLM. XLM was to be gateway to the QFS. Well, I know, Bear, that when it comes down to it, you can't argue with the results. And so ultimately, I know that my XRP holdings, I'm extremely happy to have them because take that out to a 1 year on the chart. Yeah. That's beyond awesome. Ultimately, anybody that bought over the past couple of years, you have seen a 5x return in just a matter of less than a month. Really cannot argue about the results on that one. I know I'm extremely happy, and I'm keeping my my wallets up on my phones probably too often just because it's so much fun to watch it on this path. And so I'm looking to break this all-time high. What did we gotten to? I think it was $3.40 is the all-time high recorded by CoinGecko 7 years ago. It's crazy to think about this timeline. I sold my XRP 7 years ago. Over 7 years ago, I sold my XRP. And then bought back in and have held it now for, well, yeah, I guess going on 6 years. I have held my XRP waiting for this moment. And so I imagine there's many folks out there that are very, very, very excited about that change. Captain Spiffy. Another great question, one I think that many folks out there will actually benefit from hearing the answer on. Captain Spiffy, there are multiple XRP-XXX or yada, yada, yada in Coinbase. What does XRP-EUR have to do with the XRP I own? That is a great question, and I'm glad I actually have this pulled up and waiting. And so, when we come over to Coinbase and we look at, let's use exactly that example, XRP. Well, what these are, Captain Spiffy, is these are trading pairs. And so I can trade euros here, EUR-XRP. I can trade XRP to a euro, not the US dollar, the European Union's fiat currency. Now, here on XRP USDT, I can trade USDT for XRP or XRP for USDT. Same thing here with XRP-USD. I can trade US dollars for XRP, or I can trade XRP for US dollars. That is what's going on here. These are trading pairs. These are just different avenues for you to be able to access your capital. If you say you think that the US dollar is going to go down, you could trade your XRP for euros. And you could sit in euros, counting on the European Union's currency to hold better than the US dollar. And that's what's occurring here, Captain Spiffy. It's not a different XRP. It's a different trading pair. And so these are two different currencies that I can trade between. In XRP USD, I can only trade US dollars and XRP. When I go back and I look at that in the same way, over here, I can only trade XRP and euros inside of the XRP euro. Now, trading is unavailable for me on this market, it appears, because apparently I'm just not allowed. But over here on XRP USDT, I could trade XRP for Tether. And so that's all that's going on here, Captain Spiffy. It's not a different XRP. It's just a different trading pair that you can participate in. What's up, LG Lady? LG Lady says, hello, Zester. So nice to see you. Well, it's so nice to have you here with us, LG. Here's another great question. La Filet de Assurances. Question, which stablecoin should be used, Tether or USDC? Now, La Filet, I would say, of course, we have RLUSD coming very soon. And so that could change the game. We may be saying in very, very near future, we may be saying, well, use the Ripple Labs stablecoin. But right now, what I suggest is if you plan on holding in stablecoin for an extended period of time, I recommend USDC. If you're an American investor or a European investor, I recommend USDC. The reason I recommend it is because the vast majority of Tether's capital is held in Chinese banks. It is held in banks that may or may not encounter variety of different issues in regards to sanctions or things of that nature. And so I recommend holding in USDC. That is what I hold my stable coins in. But there is something to be said here. If you are planning on, say, selling XRP and then buying Ethereum, I would highly recommend using Tether, because you're not planning on holding the Tether, you're planning on using the Tether. In that case, it's different. If you're thinking about holding stablecoin for, say, to wait a couple months or something of that nature, hold it in USDC. If you're planning on holding the stablecoin for a matter of hours because you're planning on buying something, I would recommend Tether. Two different uses for the same, essentially the same use case, but two different uses when you're viewing it from a Western perspective. Krista Stevens, Zester, what are your thoughts on a peak for XRP? I have only 50 and I'm thinking of more this evening. Do you think it will skyrocket as Bitcoin did? Well, Krista Stevens, there's a very important thing that we need to talk about here. And so, Krista, thank you so much for being here, first of all. But something that you need to keep in mind whenever talking about the idea of XRP achieving the same type of price point that Bitcoin does. What's really important here is the market cap. XRP at $2.73 has a market capitalization of $155 billion. And the reason that at $155 billion, XRP is worth $2.73 is because the amount of XRP that exists, there are 57 billion XRP in existence. 57 right now that are in circulation. When we look at Bitcoin, there are 19.7 million. And so there are far less Bitcoin in the world than there are XRP coins. And that means that you're never going to see XRP worth $95,000. It will never happen. Never. Not ever, ever. It will never happen. And the reason is just mathematics. Ultimately, there are only 19,790,503 Bitcoin right now. Whereas there are 57,178,020,379 XRP. And so, sorry, I was just reading the 24-hour trading volume, which just so happens to be extremely close to the circulating supply, which is somewhat interesting. But ultimately, keep in mind, Felicity, you're not going to see the same kind of price tag for XRP. It doesn't make mathematical sense. And so the peak for XRP, Calista, is something that I do not genuinely know. What I do know is that right now we seem to be very much targeting our previous all-time high, which was over $3.40. And so I am continuing to hold the vast majority of my XRP. I sold some for profit along the way. So I have taken some profit from my XRP holdings, but ultimately I still have probably 95+% of my XRP bag that I have not done anything with because, well, when you see charts like this, you hold. And so, Calista, I would not expect it to be worth anything like Bitcoin. It's never going to be worth $100,000 like Bitcoin will, because there's just too many of them. If something changes on that front, Calista, like say XRP burns millions and billions of tokens, then all of this could change overnight. But right now, the math is going to tell you that XRP can never get those type of prices, but XRP could be worth $10. XRP could be worth $100 a piece. That is very much mathematically possible. And so I'm viewing those as being those type of high ends. Ultimately, I'm hoping XRP will pass $5 during this bull run. Now, if XRP passes $7, about $7.40, it would actually pass the market capitalization of Ethereum, and it would become the second largest cryptocurrency on the planet. That is something that is very, very possible in this current market. We continue to receive extremely positive news in regards to XRP, whether it's Gary Gensler confirming his resignation come January 20th, whether it's the SEC dropping their cases. It continues to be never-ending good news for XRP at the moment. If that never-ending good news continues, we could see $10 XRP by 2025 or at the beginning of 2025. We could. But all of that is highly, highly dependent upon a lot of other factors. It is not something to gamble on. But even as we have talked, remember, we started at $2.70 when we first refreshed. We're already at $2.74, continuing to grow a 1.6% in the past hour. So I remain very optimistic. All right. Yeah. So, proud Arab American. This is probably going to be a pretty complicated one, but it's a good one. Proud Arab American says, Zester, have you ever bought any crypto on the MoonPay app? Because they offer XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, and a few others. Proud Arab American has a friend that bought $300 worth a couple weeks ago of XRP, and they want to know if they need to move it to a hardware wallet. A cold wallet or a soft wallet, or is it safe on the app? Proud Arab American, ultimately, if they continue to be very safe with the way they utilize their phone or whatever device they purchased it on through MoonPay, they should be fine. What I would recommend is that they get a hardware wallet, because if they bought $300 worth of XRP a couple weeks ago, it's probably worth like $1,500 now. If you have $1,500, then a $60 purchase to keep it safe of a hardware wallet is really not a big deal, in my opinion. And so, Proud Arab American, I would say they're probably perfectly safe. I would recommend they get it to a Ledger hardware wallet when they have the time or the ability, just to ensure that they are for certain safe. Because ultimately, if it's on any app that you could purchase via MoonPay, most likely it is not sitting in a place where it's their wallet. It's someone else's wallet, or it's a soft wallet, a software wallet. It's just not the same degree of safety. It all comes down to that question that I always give to people. At what point are you walking around with money in your wallet and you say, I should take some of this money out of my wallet and I should put it into a bank? I should put it in a safe. I should put it in somewhere safe. Whenever that occurs, keep in mind that your exchanges and your software wallets are like your physical wallet. If you feel like you're carrying too much money around and you feel like it's a bad idea, buy a hardware. And that's just another way to look at it. If it was too much money in your wallet and you felt unsafe walking around town carrying it, it's the same idea. That is the point when you get a hardware wallet. Until it reaches the point where, it would matter, don't worry about it. Keep it on wherever. Keep it in your wallet. The same way that you walk around with $100, $200 in your pocket, just in case something happens. Look at it the same way. But at the point in which you would no longer feel capable of carrying it around, or no longer feel safe carrying it around town, buy a hardware wallet. I promise you will save so much sleep and so much anxiety by doing it. It is so worth it. It's the best $60 you ever spend in crypto. It is the best $60 you ever spend. You buy a hardware wallet and you no longer worry about whether your crypto is safe. All right. Lee, got it. Ledger Flex is Zester's recommendation. Lee, on that front, it is all a matter of what you want to do. And so let me actually bring that up real quick. so that everyone can see. And so when you come over to my link tree, which I saw Kukla has added in there and others have added, and you click on Ledger Hardware Wallets, you'll see that you get a multitude of different offers. Now, what I recommend is if you plan on using your phone to do a lot of your crypto, then I would recommend the X or the Flex. If you use your computer for the vast majority of your crypto, I would recommend the Nano S Plus. I use Nano S Pluses. The reason being is because I do all of my crypto with my computer. If you want to be able to work with your phone and you want to be able to do your cryptocurrency trading, etc., with your phone, your mobile devices, then I would highly recommend the Flex or the Nano X. And that really is, to me, the breakdown. Which do you prefer? You prefer your computer? Go with the cheap option. You prefer your phone? Go with the more expensive option that does have more capabilities. It can do more. You can use it in more situations, but ultimately, for me, I trade on my computer. And so I don't need those. All I need is the S Plus. And so it all comes down to your personal feelings on this one. This is technically all you need. Now, if you want more, then go with the bigger ones. If you want everything, go with the stack. The stack is amazing. It does so many different things. It is an extremely impressive piece of technology. But ultimately, I recommend to people that they only get what they need, not maybe what they want. If you want the stack or the Flex, get it. If you just need a hardware wallet, just get what you need. These are just as safe. This $60 option is just as safe as this $400 option. For $60, I'm just as safe as I would be for $400. The difference is how many other cool things it does, which it does do a lot of other cool things. And so that is one question that is definitely a personal one, Lee. Ultimately, it is a personal question because it's a matter of what you want to do, how much of a big baller you're feeling like. You know, if you want to be big ball and go straight for the Ledger stack, get the one that does everything, no problem. But if you just want one that does everything you need it to do, and you know your money's safe, it's locked in Fort Knox, just get the $60 option. So yes, that one is definitely one where you can go back and forth. All right, La Filet de Assurances. Question, is using a stablecoin like Tether considered a taxable transaction? Example, I want to cash in my profits on XRP. I trade my coins for Tether. Taxable or not, in your opinion? Well, La Filet, this is actually that exact situation of legal gray area that I was discussing earlier, because this is one of those legal gray areas. Ultimately, you have not taken a profit yet. You have not transferred back to the United States dollar. And so this is one of those legal gray areas that is going on. Ultimately, if you were to transfer from XRP to United States dollar, well, that is an obviously taxable event. A stable coin that is pegged to the US dollar, that remains a legal gray area because it's not a US dollar. It's a stable coin. And so I would highly recommend keeping all of those questions for the accountant, and also keeping in mind when you have that conversation with the accountant, La Filet, that ultimately there really isn't a right answer yet. That's why we need this regulation so badly. That's why crypto is exploding, because Trump won the election. It's because so many of these questions that have been hanging over our heads for years are finally going to get an answer. we're going to know. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up a little bit here on the chat. I know I had trailed far behind, and so my apologies for anyone I missed, but I'm going to keep answering questions. All right. Gioline Udell. Welcome, Gioline. And my apologies if I am mispronouncing your name. But Gioline says, if you send it to USDC and buy back after a dump, but not leaving your Coinbase account, is that a taxable event? Gioline, whenever you're doing this, and so you're regularly trading in that way, what you should view it as you should view your profit as a taxable event. And so, say using your example, Gioline, say I bought XRP at 50 cents and I sold at $2.50 and I sold to USDC. And so I invested $1,000 at 50 cents. At $2.50, I have $5,000. And so I have $4,000 worth of profit. I made $4,000. What my taxable income would then be, or my the taxable dollars would be based off of my profit. And so if I made $4,000 and say my capital gains comes in at 21%, well, then I would owe 21% of the $4,000 of profit to the IRS. That would be one way of looking at it. And that would just be assuming that crypto is being judged in the same way that the stock market is. Now, that is not the right number because there's a difference between short-term and long-term capital gains tax. There's so many nuances. I just use numbers as an example. But in that case, Gioline, it would just be based off of your profit. Now, say you bought back in and then you started to lose money. Well, now you would just be waiting until the end of the year in order to figure out what your actual tax bill is. Remember, you only owe money when you make money. It is only a matter of profit. Capital gains is dictated off of your profit margins. It is not dictated off of your purchases. It is the purchase price and the sale price, and the difference between the two. I bought at 50 cents. I sold at $2.50. That means I have that $2 of profit in between for each token. That is where I technically owe the IRS. Uncle Sam wants his money. And so keep that in mind, that when it comes down to it, you're only being taxed on profits. You're not being taxed on losses. You write off losses. You pay money when you make money. Oh, Patricia Lee. Great question here. Patricia Lee says, Zach, or at Zester, this morning someone asked your dad about RLUSD, but he didn't know what they meant. I posted info about your podcast and asked a mod to post your email. I think it's Ripple Labs. Patricia, well, thank you so much for putting out my socials. I definitely appreciate that. And you are correct. RLUSD is Ripple Labs USD. It is a stable coin that is being launched on the XRP ledger. And so it will be pegged to the US dollar. One RLUSD will be worth, you guessed it, $1 US. And so that's a great question, Patricia. And I know that it is. All these acronyms just confuse and obfuscate. And so I know on that one that there will be a lot of folks asking about it. But that is, Patricia, you are right. That is Ripple Labs stablecoin. All right. Let's catch up. I'm going to keep finding more questions, guys. I'm looking at the time. I know we've gone a bit long, but I'm going to make certain we get every question answered that I can. So I'm going to keep going. All right. Hula Girl. I purchased Algorand along with 2 other cryptos, and I was looking to sell/trade the Algo. I am having problems looking to move the Algorand. I have all my crypto in a Ledger cold wallet. Where do I start? Hula Girl, well, you have 2 options here. You can either trade directly through Ledger Live on your computer or on your phone, in which case you would just go to your Ledger Live app, you would plug in your Ledger device, and you would go through the buy/sell or the swap section. You have another option though, Hula Girl. What you can also do is you can transfer your crypto from your Ledger wallet to your Coinbase wallet. And then in Coinbase, you can execute a sale and then you can transfer the dollars to your bank account. And so when I look at this one, Hula, I would kind of say, do you plan on keeping that money? If you plan on keeping that money and you want to put it in your bank account, you want to spend it, do some Christmas shopping, totally good to do that. All you do is you transfer your Algorand from your Ledger to your Coinbase account, and then you transfer the US dollars to your bank account, your Wells Fargo or wherever you bank with. But you can also trade directly through the Ledger Live application. And so you have 2 different options there, Hula. It really comes down to whether you want to get the money accessible very quickly or whether you just want to keep it in the crypto world. All right. Charlene Hart. I copy and pasted my Lobster into address on Lobster. It said the address isn't formatted correctly. What is wrong? Charlene, so first thing, make certain that you're actually pasting in. And so if you're on Lobster, you would go to the send option. So you want to send crypto. Say you have some XLM on your Lobster wallet. You would go to send. And then you would want to actually put in the wallet address of the destination of your XLM, aka not your Lobster wallet address. You would want to put in the wallet you were sending it to. So say you were going to send it to your Ledger. You would go onto your Ledger device. You would download the Stellar wallet. You would copy your Stellar wallet address. You would take that wallet address. You would go back to Lobster. You would click Send XLM. You would paste that wallet address you got from your Ledger device into the recipient, and then you would send it from Lobster. And so, Charlene, I don't know if I'm missing anything there. And so please let me know if there's any more information on that one, and I can help. Yep. And so Neil, going back to that Ledger conversation, Neil says, I have a Nano X I can purchase from the app on my phone. Yep. Neil, it is great. It really is. The X and the Flex and the Stack ledgers are awesome. It all comes down to the way that you want to be able to use your hardware wallet. But it is. You can go through and you can safely purchase directly through your phone. You can safely store things. And so it does. It is awesome. All right. Some project. How do we get our crypto onto the wallet? And if I can only afford the Nano S, is that okay to use on my phone? Awesome. Some project. Great question. It does not work with your phone. And so if you have a Nano S, you're not going to be able to connect it to your phone unless your phone has a USB outlet. Most phones don't. That would be a very big phone in order to have one. And so some project in that situation, if you have an old laptop, if you have an old, it doesn't need to be like a powerful computer. I have a computer, a laptop sitting somewhere, since I guess I shouldn't say publicly where I have those things. I have a laptop sitting somewhere that is from like 2008, I think. That laptop is old. It should be broke by now. And it has access and runs some of my ledgers. And I use it for Ledger Live. And so you don't need like a good computer for your Nano S. You just need a computer. And so in that way, some project, I would say if you really, really, really need it to be on the phone, you're probably going to have to shell out a few more dollars for the hardware wallet. But there are a lot of options in terms of old laptops or things like that that would allow you to use the S Plus and not have any problem. All right. I'm trying to catch up, guys. I know I'm missing some questions along the way, but I'm catching up with the chat to see what more questions we have. All right. Terry Ferraro, I need to set up my Ledger Nano X. Is it safe for me to use my mobile phone to set this up? It is. Terry, you do not have anything to worry about on that front, assuming you don't have anything funny going on your phone in the first place. That would be the one thing to check out and make certain. If there's nothing funny going on your phone currently, you are more than safe to use it to help to set up your Nano X. Texas Farm Girl 7. Can you explain how to transfer XDC to Ledger? It does not seem as straightforward and easy as XRP. Well, you are very correct, Texas Farm Girl. It is not near as easy, but I actually have a video, a highly underappreciated video, I might add, that suddenly has become very popular, popped out of nowhere, and became a very, very popular video of mine. But Texas Farm Girl, I actually have a video showing exactly how to do that. So I just posted the link, Texas Farm Girl, into the chat. And so that link is actually to this video. And this video is one where I do how to crypto tutorial for storing your XDC network token on your Ledger hardware wallet. And this video suddenly, in the past couple of weeks, folks have started to find it. And it has become extremely helpful. But that would be your answer right there. I gotcha, Texas Farm Girl. You have a whole video to watch, and it will teach you exactly how to do what you are looking to do. So I am happy to have the answer for that one, and have the answer also in a tutorial format for you to follow along with. And so right there, you'll be good to go. Mary, well, I have a ledger from 2017 that I locked away. I've seen a YouTube that said I needed to be doing all the updates. Mary, you do not need to be worried about all the updates. Mary, what you do need to do, though, is you need to get those updates done, because when you do at some point, say you have crypto on that ledger and you want to be able to sell it, you want to be able to use it, you want to do things with it, you're going to need all those updates to be done. Now, one other thing that I would suggest, Mary, is when you wait a very, very long time to do your updates, I would highly recommend that you make certain you have your seed phrases. So that 24-word phrase, the 24 words that you wrote down, your mnemonic passphrase, make certain that you have that. One thing that has occurred to some folks that wait a very long time to do all of their ledger updates is sometimes they will need to put back in their seed phrase. If that occurs, you're going to want to make certain you have it written down. And so, Mary, assuming you have your seed phrase written down, which everyone should, That is a non-negotiable. Everyone should have their seed phrase written down in multiple locations. It is extremely important. That is personal responsibility in the future of finance being something that we get to own. It is reliant upon us taking certain things very seriously. One of those things is writing down your seed phrase. That is like if you were in charge of Fort Knox and you lost the key. It's, it'd be a big deal. And so keep in mind that your hardware wallet is your personal Fort Knox. Don't lose the keys to your Fort Knox. And so assuming you have your seed phrase down, Mary, you don't have anything to worry about. Write it down, make certain it's right, make certain you've got it in a safe place. You're totally good. Tim Fu. So Zach, is Coinbase your recommended bridge to move tokens over to from Ledger or Lobster, etc., to basically cash out to your bank account? Coinbase is my recommendation for cashing out. And so I very much recommend Coinbase to cash out. If you have made money and you want that money, cash out on Coinbase. I tell you, I have done this so many times. I have tried with other services. I have used other exchanges. Use Coinbase. If you're cashing out, use Coinbase. Keep in mind that if you use Coinbase, you will have to pay your taxes. But you will pay the cheapest fees. You will have your money. It will be in your bank account. You will have it. Your money will arrive. And it will arrive promptly. And so I would, Tim. I would recommend at this point in time, if you're taking money out and you need to pay bills, you need to do things with it, send that money to Coinbase, send it to your bank account, go spend the money on whatever makes you happy or whatever you need to do. All right, Charlene, I was transferring assets from Uphold to Lobster. Okay. When I copied and pasted my Lobster address in, it said it wasn't formatted correctly. How could it not be right if I copy and paste it? Charlene, the only thing that could occur here is you have to make certain that you're sending it. If you're sending XRP from Uphold, make certain that you have the XRP address for Lobster. Also, remember that whenever you're sending XRP or XLM, you have got to use a destination tag if you're sending it to a centralized exchange. I know that sounds very, very confusing, but when you click on your receive address on Lobster, in this case, Lobster should give you a destination tag or a memo address. That is what you may also need. But Charlene, what it sounds like is that you need to make certain you're going to the right wallet. Remember that Lobster really is only good for XLM. And so if you're sending any other crypto to Lobster, that may be where you're having a problem. Lobster really is only for Stellar. Uphold really is only for XRP. And even then, keep in mind, it would have been cheaper on the other exchanges. But I would check that one real quick. Leslie K 1776. This is an interesting question, Leslie. Leslie says, "Hey Zester, should my Nano Ledger X be stored in a Faraday bag for EMP safety?" Leslie K, your Ledger Nano X has a battery, and so yes, it should be. In the case of an EMP, it would be problematic. It would be. And so in the case of a Nano S Plus, there is no battery. It is nothing more than an encrypted chip. It would take an extreme EMP to shut that down. I mean, we would have far bigger problems, AKA. We wouldn't be worried about whether we had money we'd be worried about whether we could find clean water, or how many bullets we had left in the gun when the zombies are approaching, So I would say with a Nano X, I would try to store that inside of a metal gun safe. That should be more than enough to protect it, though, Leslie. It is not a very, very easy outlet to fry. You would be safe inside of any normal gun safe, but with a Nano S, you would never have anything to worry about just because of the way it works. So very interesting question, Leslie. Very interesting, because I know for many folks that would be something that is somewhat worrying. And yeah, I would worry about it also. I would highly recommend with an X, just keeping it inside of a gun safe. That should be more than enough. More than enough to keep it safe. Remember, EMPs are going to do best with higher voltage circuits than they are with anything. And so they're not going to have they're not going to have a very easy time frying something like that. But I would keep it inside of a Faraday bag or a Faraday cage if I were using one of the battery powered. Also, remember though, Leslie K, that your 24 words are actually your wallet. The device is an interface. Your ledger is an interface. It allows you to access it. But ultimately, your 24-word passphrase is what matters. And so, if examples, Leslie, we'll just examples. Say an EMP occurs and it fries your Ledger Nano X. Fries it. Doesn't work, won't turn on, useless. Okay. If you still have your 24 words, all you would then need is any other wallet on the planet, and you would have access to your crypto. So just keep that in mind also. Ultimately, you can keep all of your cryptocurrency on nothing more than paper if you so chose. You could just write it all down on a piece of paper, write down your 24 words, and you could throw your Ledger Nano X into the river or into the Marianas Trench, and you would always still have access to your crypto through those 24 words. Kathleen Lee, is transferring to your cold wallet the same as moving from one wallet to another? It is. And so if you're moving from a centralized exchange to your hardware wallet, you're moving from that company's wallets to your personal wallet. If you're moving from your MetaMask hot wallet to your hardware wallet, it's the same idea. All we're doing is transferring between different wallets. Different wallets own that crypto. All right. All right, guys. No, NW, Northwest Treasure Seeker. Hey, Zester, how are things down in Puerto Rico? They are doing very, very well, Treasure Seeker. Thank you so much for asking. I'm very, very happy to be back. Although I did enjoy the time with the family an immense amount, I'm still very happy to be back in my own bed and things of that nature. All right, though, guys. I know that there will be more questions. Let me hit this last one from Kathleen Lee, and then I'm going to go ahead and run off. I would say to everyone, I am catching up now on all the emails. And so for anyone out there that has not gotten a response from me on the emails, I am very, very sorry. I have been extremely busy with everything. And so I'm going through and catching up. And so also for those out there that may have any questions or anything, now would be a great time to send them in, because I am going through and tackling the email backup in the next day or so, and even tonight. And so that is one way to always get to me. And my apologies to folks that have been sitting there for a minute. Unfortunately, it's been particularly busy, especially when I also am someone who holds a bunch of different cryptos. And that means I'm running all over the place doing the same thing that everyone else is nowadays. I'm keeping up with my investments. And so please do send in any email questions that folks have, or if anyone wants to set up one-on-one times to have sit downs to talk crypto, I am going to start considering opening that up. I know there are a lot of folks out there that are like, hey, let me pay for an hour or two so that we can just do this. We can get it all done. I'm happy to do that. And so that is something that I will be starting next week for those that want one-on-one time to go through things. But let me get back to answering this question so I can let everybody get off and enjoy their evening. But Kathleen Lee says, some exchanges have vaults. Are they safe if you don't have a cold wallet? Kathleen, this is a nuanced response, or a nuanced question, because there's a lot going on here. Ultimately, I do not trust any of the different companies, quote unquote, vaults. Now, I have a multitude of reasons for this. One reason is the vaults typically charge a monthly fee. You could just purchase a hardware wallet yourself and be your own vault after more than just a month or two of paying the vault charges. So that's one thing where it just doesn't make financial sense to participate in a lot of the vault programs. Number two, it is not your wallet. Now, that shouldn't be a problem. If you trust the service you're using, that is not a problem. If you think there may ever be an issue with, say, Lobster's vault system at some point in the future, keep in mind that if there's any problem with Lobster's vault, it will not be your fault that you lost your money. It will be their fault that you lost your money. I personally recommend to everyone that we should all start to take personal responsibility for our finances. And in that way, that means if it's not your wallet, it's not your crypto. Not your keys, not your crypto. It's a very famous phrase in the cryptocurrency space. Because if I have my money on Binance and then Binance says, uh-oh, we have a problem, and it shuts down withdrawals, I have nothing that I can do. My money is stuck there. And I have just got to cross fingers, hope, and pray that Binance gives me my money back. Whereas if I have it on my own hardware wallet, there is no one to blame but me. No one. There is no way for my money to be kept from me. I am the only one that has access. And so that is where I would kind of place those vault programs into perspective. Ultimately, you are paying for a convenience. You are placing the accountability and the responsibility on a company. If you trust that company, all good. If you think there's any chance that company might have problems at some point in the future, whether of their own doing or external factors, then you might want to consider holding it yourself. It is absolutely another one of those personal risk questions. Everyone is different. Ultimately, many folks are not worried about placing the responsibility on a company and saying, well, it's their problem. They're in charge of keeping it safe. Okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. It is absolutely to each their own on that one. Me personally, I keep my crypto with me. The only one that is going to be responsible for me losing my crypto will be me. And that is totally a personal decision. That is 100% a personal decision. But it is something for everyone to choose. I know that Coinbase offers a vault for like $100 a year. remember the Nano S Plus costs $60 and you own it. And so the cost to participate in the Coinbase Vault for just 1 year already covers the cost to just have your own vault in your own house. I believe that Lobster is the same way, where you could almost immediately just pay to have your own vault in your own house. It'd be like going over and keeping all your guns at the neighbor's house when you already own a gun safe. It's like, well, why? I mean, why? So yeah, totally a personal one. I'm always going to be the not your keys, not your crypto guy, but ultimately it is perfectly fine to use these companies' services. It's perfectly fine. You're just trusting them. And that is where you have to make that decision. Is the convenience worth the possibility of them messing up? Or are you more worried about you messing up than you are worried about them messing up? And another way of looking at it. And so I'm sorry if that is not a very, very clear and defined answer for you, Kathleen, but I hope that I presented the pros and the cons in a way that will help you make your own personal decision on it. But other than that, thank you guys so much. I would love to continue, but I see we're at an hour and a half now, and I know folks are going to be getting ready for the next show in just a matter of 34 minutes. And so I will go ahead and bid everyone a great evening and an amazing Monday. I will be back on Trump Day, aka Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, I will be hammering through emails. And so please, if anyone does want to book some consultation hours or wants to ask questions, if you just have questions, don't worry. Just send them along. I will get answers as soon as I can. And remember, love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you all for being so understanding with the Bitcoin and crypto craziness of the current market. I know everyone is very, very excited. I am also, but I am trying to keep up with answers as much as I can. So shoot me emails. I will talk to y'all soon. If not, I will see you on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Love you guys. Peace.